Hey, Teddy K here for Best Buy Plugin, and in this video review we take a look at the Samsung Galaxy S10e, the third and most affordable of Samsung's latest flagship smartphone. The Galaxy S10e is almost like the forgotten child of the trio that Samsung came out with, but it is more interesting a device than you might think, and the reason for that is because of how much is so familiar and similar to the other devices, and how much is different. So if you're interested in a new Samsung phone, but you're not necessarily sure that you want to go all the way to one of the other two flagships, and you're thinking of an alternative, this might be worth a look. Okay, so what's the same, what's different? Well, obviously the 5.8-inch display is smaller than the other two models. It's also of a lower resolution. The other two can go to a higher resolution screen, and it's flat. There's no curved displays. So if you hate those curved displays, or you just never really had a use for any of the, I guess, features that came with it, then, well, this might be the phone for you. Now, you don't get the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor that the other two have. You have a fingerprint sensor, you have a capacitive one right here on the power button. So you do lose that, but hey, at least you have a fingerprint sensor that's not on the back near the camera lens. At any rate, you also, actually speaking of camera lenses, you also get two instead of three. So the other phones have three lenses, this one has two. Samsung did not include the 2x optical zoom telephoto lens on this one. They included the ultra-wide lens that they introduced in all three of the phones. So you do have the regular standard lens, and then you have the ultra-wide as well. What's interesting about the camera performance is that it's almost carried over from the S10 and S10 Plus. So the image sensor is the same. You get essentially the same lenses. I mean, it's the same glass that the other two have. As far as the two lenses are, the software is the same. Now, you don't get Instagram mode. That's one thing that is not available here. And there are a couple of other settings that may not be available as well, but for the most part, it's essentially the same thing. So this will shoot very similarly to how those phones shoot. You might get a bit more of an advantage with the S10 and S10 Plus in a couple other ways. I mean, obviously, yes, there are features that are there that are not here, but also I just think that even though the scene optimizer AI is available here, I just felt like I got a little bit better with the S10 Plus. Not much, but just a little bit. But hey, this was a very capable shooter, really, really well. It shot really well for me, and for the most part. Low light, Samsung, I think in general, could have done a better job with the phones. But for a device that is considered sort of the lower end of a flagship lineup, it just didn't really shoot that way. I mean, I think it shot very, very well under the circumstances. This is a 5.8-inch display that doesn't feel like it is, because obviously the bezels are smaller, and you don't have a notch. You have that one front-facing lens that's in the top right corner of the device, which is just consistent with what Samsung has done with the other two S10s, and you don't really notice it anyway. So a lot of similarities there too. You have the wireless power share. So again, you want to charge a device by putting it on the back of this phone. You can, not a problem. So there's a lot of, again, it's so similar to an S10 and S10 Plus that if you're not looking to go that high, or maybe you're on a bit more of a budget, you want, whatever your reasons are, whatever they may be, if you're looking for an alternative as far as the Samsung phone goes, you know what, the S10e is worth a shot. So there's one caveat, as there tend to be with devices like this, and that's battery life. It's kind of an important one. And 3100 milliamp battery, which is not bad. It's a bit small though for a device this size. And because of it, you probably will not get through a full day. I'm saying like a 24-hour day. You will have to probably charge this at night if you want to go full again, or because what I found when I used it, mixed or moderate usage did sip the battery a lot faster than I would have experienced, let's say, with the S10 Plus. And I get the reasons why. I mean, it's the same processor. Yes, there's lower RAM, but it's the same processor. You still have a fairly large screen. The screen can get pretty bright too, which explains why you can see it in sunlight. So there's a lot of different factors going on. And of course, depending on what your habits are, whether it's streaming and calls and messaging and whatnot, social media, whatever it is that you're actively doing on the phone, it will tax the battery. More so on this device than the other S10s. So that is something to consider if you're going to take the plunge on this. And that's my review of the Samsung Galaxy S10e for Best Buy Plug-in. I'm Teddy K. Thanks for watching.